Hey everyone, Random Randy here. This is going to be a hyper short yarn talk. This will be episode 14. I haven't really been able to work on hardly anything. Well, I take that back. I've started a few things and I have absolutely hated them. This is going to be a very short video because everything that I've worked on in the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks, for the most part, I've ended up hating it halfway through it. So I have a lot of half-finished things, and 2 of them I'm looking at right now, and I will show them to you shortly. I will also be doing the drawing for my yarn giveaway at the end of this video because I had meant to do it early last week, and the weather has been so gorgeous here that the kids and I have been outside. If you can't tell, I obviously have gotten quite a bit more color in my complexion, except for the spot here where I was wearing foolishly a t-shirt the other day instead of having my arms completely bare, so now I have goofy tan lines. But yeah, so anyway, you might hear ambient noise in the background from the groundskeepers weed eating. I don't think they have the mower going today. We haven't really had a lot of growth. I might think they might just be doing edging. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the one thing that I do have finished that I don't want to chop into tiny pieces with scissors, and that is this circle jacket that I am wearing that I made. It is hyper stretchy, and I made it with a tutorial. It was actually a mystery crochet along from the All Crafts channel, and I will link to that down below. It was a 4-part video series, I believe, and she also had the written pattern on her blog. So you'll be able to make that as well if you would like. There are also instructions for a plus size pattern. I ended up making the regular universal size, I guess is the best way to put it. One size fits most, and then there's also a plus size that's just adding a few extra rows to make it wider and bigger, longer. Honestly, I probably could have made this a little bit longer, but I will insert a clip of me doing a little twirly ooh la la thing and showing you all what the back of this looks like and everything, because it's the only thing that I've got done this week. This is just to give you all an idea of what this circle jacket looks like. I really like it. My husband is not so much a fan of it. I think his exact quote was, "Are you planning to run away and join a gypsy caravan?" And I said, oh, I don't know, maybe. But this is actually all made with yarn that I had. There's the leftover Hobby Lobby Grape Fizz. That is a Big Twist premium something or other. That is Deborah Norville. I think it's Plum. Hello, dog. This is a Hirschner's Holiday Color. Red Heart Super Saver Purple Tones, Red Heart Super Saver Green Tones, and then Red Heart Super Saver Grape Fizz, and all the rest are repeats of the other colors. I made this pattern at the normal size in the pattern. It's not the plus size one. I didn't add any rows or anything to it. It's very heavy. Definitely a good stash buster if you actually go with yarn that you already have rather than buying specific yarn for the project. And I am 5'8" and about 175 pounds, and this completely covers my butt and goes down to my thighs, and has more than enough room to wrap over in the front if you wanted to button it or use some kind of a shawl pin. I mean, it's super stretchy, so it could completely go over like this and cover the front. So the things that I have been working on, which really are super disappointing, I'll show you the things that I'm going to end up ripping back to nothing first. So that what I thought was going to be awesome granny square top that I started working on, I ended up getting a second ball of it, of the orange and black Team Spirit yarn, and I just can't do it. I'm not liking the way it's turning out, and I'm not gonna keep trying to make it work if it's not going to work. So here's how it ended up looking so far. And I am down to about 1/3 of the second entire skein, honestly, of it. And a whole second skein would have netted me about, how many rows did I get done from that last black row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probably about 8 rows, which is only about 4 inches of length, and I'm not gonna go buy a 1/3 ball of this stuff to make a top. I'm just not. So the design is not working the way that I wanted it to, so I will reclaim the yarn and use it for something else. Yeah, this is all I have left, this little floppy sad bit from the skein. There's that, which is a total mess, and I need to spend time to rip out and recake. This was going to be a throw blanket. It's supposed to be the Attic 24 Cozy Stripes blanket, I believe. It's a very easy pattern to follow, and I don't like the way that it's turning out. I have so much orange yarn because this pumpkin yarn was going to be for Killian's blanket, and then it wasn't the same thickness as the Caron 1 pound, even remotely, even though they're both worsted weight. So I ended up having to get a Caron 1 pound yarn to be able to use for the orange. So now I have 3 giant balls of this pumpkin orange from Red Heart Super Saver that I have to find something to use with. And this is what was left of my Red Heart Super Saver platoon. And this is a Michael's Loops and Threads Impeccable. It's the big ball version of the yarn. I can't remember what exactly the name of it was, but it's a brown earthy tone, variegated, and it's not, I don't like the way it's looking. My foundation chain was too tight, so it ripples, and I don't like that. I could probably make it look okay by putting a border on it, but I'd rather just not do it. So I'll find something else to do with the yarn. That's the nice thing about acrylic. It's really easy to frog it and just do something different. The other thing, I actually have 2 things that I'm working on that I may end up not despising. We shall see. The other thing I'm working on, I decided I'm going to make a patriotic blanket. I do not know why, probably because I have so much red, white, and blue yarn. It's insane. So what I did was I took the red, blue Team Spirit yarn that I had left after making Hunter's socks and the octopus for him, and I started making granny squares with them. So I ended up getting 4 granny squares out of what was left of the red and blue. And I'm also using Red Heart Super Saver Americana. And it looks like the way this is going to work out is that I'm going to get this kind of a variation with it. Started off with this one, which went white, red in the middle and turned blue on the outside, then to just a white, red square, and then another white and red with the blue. So I think that's how it's probably going to keep repeating, because the next one that I have started right now is white and red in the center. So this one's probably going to be all white red before it gets back to the blue, because it's actually self-striping. And I'm just doing standard granny squares with this, with an eye hook. So there's a lot of, it's going to be kind of airy. It'll be warmish, but it won't be super heavy. It's going to be, what did I figure? With the size of these squares, it's going to be 42 by 60 inches without adding a border to it. And I'll probably just do, I was planning to do 1 or 2 rows around the outside with the Americana, just to kind of bring it together. And it's going to be 70 squares altogether. Right now I have 7 of them, or 1 row worth done. So I'm going to have some squares that are all red, some that are all white, some that are all blue, and then I've got the variegated, and I've got the whole thing mapped out because I'm just a diagram and planning person. I can ad-lib and make things up as I go, but I would rather figure it all out beforehand. You probably won't be able to see that, but yeah, that is my little map of what I'm doing. So I'm pretty much going to do all of the variegated first because the quantity of those is so much lower than the other ones, and I'm going to put those first 2 rows together so I can go, yay, I have part of it done. Now I can progress instead of just putting all of the squares, making all the squares, and then putting them together at the last minute. Because I know that by the end of trying to put all those squares together, I'd be ready to rip my hair out. So there's that, what I'm working on. And the only other thing that I'm working on right now is, if I can figure out where the zipper is, I decided I wanted to try doing a knitted top. And this is just going to be a basic tank top. I actually found the pattern on YouTube. It is on Rainbow Warrior's channel, and I'll post the link for that down below. I'm just doing it with size 8 needles and worsted weight yarn. I'm using a Premier Sweet Roll, and there's going to be quite a few inches worth of ribbing eventually. But right now it's only at about 1 inch. I actually got about halfway through this row and had to set it down, and somehow, because ribbing looks the same on the front and the back, I started knitting back in the wrong direction. So I had to rip back about 1/4 of the row because all of a sudden there was a section in the middle that was about this much longer than all the rest of it, and I was like, oh no! So this yarn is actually from what was going to be my Linus shawl. I decided once the weather starts getting cooler, maybe I'll want to do shawls, but right now, no. So this is Premier Sweet Roll. This is, what's this colorway? Mint Swirl. It's 100% acrylic, it's worsted weight yarn. It is 245 yards or a 5-ounce ball. Because I really like the idea of most crochet summer tops, but I found my biggest issue is that a lot of them are meant to be cover-ups because crochet tends to have holes in it, obviously. And I don't want to have to wear a tank top under whatever I make, because why would you wear layers when it's so warm out? It doesn't make sense to me. I would rather have little peaks of the color of the flesh on my belly show through what I'm wearing than have to wear 2 layers plus a bra under a top. Maybe I'm weird, maybe I just grew up somewhere where it was relatively cold most of the time, so I'm excited to not have to wear layers right now because it's finally warming up. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to stop gibbering and jabbering and I'm going to do the drawing. So what I've decided to do as far as prizes go, because I couldn't really figure out who would want what and how would I do things if I had to juggle between who wanted what. So the options for everybody whose name I'm about to pick, I ended up having 10 people who entered the giveaway, which is super cool. Considering it was for a 100 subscriber giveaway, a 10% response rate, I think that's pretty amazing. But what I'm going to do is I will either let you choose to have 2 skeins of hand-dyed yarn from me. That will be a wool nylon blend and it will be sock weight yarn. Or you can pick up to 3 skeins of acrylic that I have, and I will, if you want to have the acrylic instead of the wool, we will work something out because honestly I have so much it's insane. So I'm going to get right to that. I've got everybody's names in this little thing right here. To the drawing. Everything is in here. Gonna mix it, 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 mix, 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 mix. Doesn't sound like much because you know there's only 10 pieces of paper in here. So first one is, if it will focus, probably not, a crafty crocheter. If you cannot see that, I can't tell if it's clear enough to be read because I'm behind it. So there's one. What's that one? Can I read it through the paper backwards? I guess I can. That says Lucy Coates. Congratulations, Lucy and Elizabeth. And Jenny's Fiber Creations. Why is it trying to focus on my necklace? That is such a weird thing. There we go. Jenny's Fiber Creations. So I will be getting in touch with you folks and we will be figuring out what you would like for your prize and where I'm going to ship it to. So I have a few things that I'm planning that I would like to involve you all in the planning process of. I would really like to do a summer top crochet along if I can ever find a pattern or make a pattern that I enjoy. And I'm thinking maybe a mystery crochet along, meaning I would have it all planned out beforehand and I would give it to you in smaller video chunks so you could work on it as you went, or you could wait until the entire thing was done and you'd just have to kind of trust me and hope that it would look awesome by the time that it was all finished. After doing this, which was a mystery crochet along, I really think that it's a pretty cool idea. And I'd like to be involved in something like that. So if that's something that you would like to see, let me know. And it would be probably something made with cotton just because it's getting to be that time of year, or it would be something that's fairly airy and partly open work if it was acrylic, like this vest that I'm wearing, because it's about 70 degrees here today. It might be warmer, but it was 79 degrees here one of the days last week. And it doesn't, we've hit the summer season here in Washington, so it doesn't rain as much as it was, which is a good thing. But we do still need it once or twice a week. We need a good downpour day to keep everything from drying out. So here's hoping, because I'd like my garden not to die and to not have to water it daily. As you can see, I just have so much junk on my desk right now. It's pretty much been a whirlwind getting into here and out of here with the way everything's been. It's like, oh, I have 5 minutes with the kids, one of them being asleep and one being temporarily occupied. Quick, run in here, try and find something. I didn't find it. Okay, and then I just leave all this junk out where it was. I have this weird yarn that I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do with it. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to make a bag because I don't know if it would be wearable. This is something that I got from Ice Yarns, and it is actually a cotton and what does it say it is? Cotton polyamide mix. Focus? Oh, there we go, focus. Here, let's see if I can get a strand of it up on my hand so maybe you can see. And it's blue cotton and it has this black plastic wrapped around it, the polyamide, which is, let's be honest, polyamide is just plastic. The way that it's wrapped around it, it feels pretty much like a plastic bag. And I don't know if maybe I should hold it together with a strand of regular cotton to make something with it, or if I should put 2 or 3 strands together. I do not know what to do with it, or if maybe I should just make shopping bags with it. It is, I think it's fine weight, maybe? Does it even say? No, it doesn't say anywhere. But yeah, looking at it, it looks like a 2. I would guess that this is a 2. And I'm planning to make a cute little hippie circle jacket like this one for one of our neighbor's little girls for her birthday, possibly for 2 of our neighbor's little girls, because they're both fairly small, and it definitely wouldn't be this Altogether, doing all of this, I think it took me 3 or 4 nights to get all of this done. But it was easy. I mean, once you've got the pattern repeat figured out, you only just have to occasionally glance at when you're keeping track of your rows, and then you just kind of go from there. It was nice. I liked making it. I like that it fits. It's the last thing that I've made in the last few weeks that I didn't absolutely loathe with every fiber of my being. So that probably is part of the reason that I'm so endeared to it. And I guess, since I don't have anything else that I've worked on, I really need to work on just getting crap in here cleaned up, because the state of this room right now is just mind-numbing to me. So I will get in touch with you ladies who are the winners. Congratulations once again. Thanks so much for sticking around, and thank you again to everybody who is a new subscriber or who's an old subscriber that's been here for a while. I am at, as of currently recording this, I am at 131 subscribers, which is insane because less than 2 weeks ago I was only at about 100. So yay, moving on up in the world. And I will make sure all of the links for everything are down below. For the summer, for my summer recording schedule, it's probably going to be more likely every other week, just because when the sun is out, I'm not going to be sitting down here hiding when my kids want to go play. So I will let you know more about that, and thanks again so much for watching, everybody. Bye.